Sophie was just an ordinary girl. She loved space and always dreamed of visiting other planets, but she never thought she would actually go to one. One night, as she was looking at the stars from her bedroom window, a bright light flashed in the sky. Before she could move, a beam of light surrounded her, and suddenly she felt herself floating. Everything went dark. When Sophie woke up, she was no longer in her bedroom. She was inside a strange clear glass cage. The air smelled different, and the sky outside was not blue. It was a deep shade of purple. Strange creatures walked past her cage, looking at her with their big, glowing eyes. Then she realized the truth. She had been kidnapped to another planet. Sophie looked around in shock. She was inside a zoo, but not a normal one. It was an alien zoo. There were cages everywhere, holding creatures from different planets. Some had long necks and glowing skin, while others had sharp claws and multiple eyes. A tall alien wearing a silver uniform walked past her cage. He had green skin, long fingers, and no nose. Sophie quickly hid behind a rock inside her cage, trying not to be seen. She had to find a way to escape. As Sophie sat in the corner of her cage, she heard a voice from the next cage. "Hey, are you okay?" It was a small alien with blue skin and big round eyes. "My name is Pax. What's yours?" "I'm Sophie," she whispered. "Where are we?" "This is the Intergalactic Zoo. They collect creatures from different planets and keep them here," Pax said. "Sadly, I was taken from my home, just like you." Sophie felt a mix of fear and anger. "We have to escape." Pax nodded. "I've been here for weeks and I know a secret. There's a way out." Sophie and Pax whispered their plan. Pax explained that the zookeepers used floating robots to bring food. These robots entered the cages through small doors at the bottom. "We can trick them," Pax said. "When they come with food, we can sneak out." Sophie smiled. "That's a great idea. But what about the guards?" Pax pointed to a dark tunnel at the far end of the zoo. "If we reach that tunnel, we can escape into the jungle of stars. From there, we'll find a way off this planet." The next day, Sophie and Pax were ready. When the food robot arrived, Pax jumped on top of it, making it spin out of control. The small door opened, and Sophie quickly crawled out. Pax followed, and they ran as fast as they could. "Hey, stop!" shouted a guard with red eyes and sharp teeth. The alarms rang loudly. More guards ran toward them. "Run!" Pax yelled. They zigzagged through the cages, dodging the guards. One of them almost grabbed Sophie's arm, but she pulled away just in time. Ahead of them was the tunnel. If they could reach it, they would be free. Sophie and Pax entered the tunnel and ran until they saw light. When they stepped outside, Sophie gasped. The jungle of stars was magical. The trees were tall and glowing, with leaves that sparkled like diamonds. The ground was soft, and strange creatures moved quietly between the trees. "We need to keep moving," Pax said. The guards will look for us. They ran deeper into the jungle. Suddenly, they heard a growl. A giant, three-eyed beast with thick fur stood in their way. It sniffed the air and let out a low growl. Don't move, Pax whispered. It only attacks if we run. Sophie's heart pounded, but she stayed still. The beast sniffed again, then slowly walked away. Sophie let out a deep breath. That was close, she whispered. After walking for hours, Pax stopped. There, the secret tunnel. He pointed to a small cave hidden behind glowing blue vines. They crawled inside. The tunnel was dark, but at the end, Sophie saw something amazing. A spaceship. That's our way home, she said excitedly. But before they could move, they heard a noise. Someone was inside the tunnel. A shadow appeared. Sophie gasped, but then she saw a small creature with 6 arms and bright yellow eyes. Wait, I know him, Pax said. His name is Zillow. He was in another cage. Zillow looked scared. Can I come with you? I don't want to stay in the zoo. Sophie smiled. Of course. Let's all escape together. The spaceship was old, but it looked like it still worked. Pax pressed some buttons, and the door opened. Hurry, Sophie said, as they climbed inside. The alien guards were running toward them. They're coming, Zillow cried. Pax quickly pressed more buttons. The spaceship shook and slowly lifted off the ground. The guards fired lasers at them, but they missed. Soon they were flying high above the jungle. We did it, Sophie cheered. Not yet, Pax said. We still have to escape the planet's atmosphere. The ship shook as it passed through thick clouds. Then, suddenly, they were in space. Sophie looked out the window. Stars and planets filled the sky. Where's Earth? She asked. Pax tapped the screen. There, we'll take you home. Zillow smiled. And after that, we'll find our own homes. As the spaceship flew toward Earth, Sophie felt a mix of emotions. She had been kidnapped, trapped in an alien zoo, and faced dangerous creatures. But she had also made new friends and had the greatest adventure of her life. Soon, Earth came into view. The spaceship entered the atmosphere, and they landed in a quiet field near Sophie's house. Thank you, she said. I'll never forget you. Pax and Zillow smiled. Goodbye, Sophie. Stay brave. The spaceship rose into the sky and disappeared among the stars. Sophie watched until it was gone. Then she walked home, knowing that she had just lived the most incredible story ever. And who knows, maybe one day she would see Pax and Zillow again.